Hello, welcome back to Ones of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. I'm Phil, of course, and I'm joined as usual by my co-hosts Dave and George. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Good evening, Phil.
So
Phil, who does not like to be seen, apparently.
Just having some driver issues with my laptop currently to do with the camera for some reason. So again, another podcast where you can't see me, but you can hear me, which is probably for the best. But yes, we've got quite a long show today. A lot of news this week. So one of those shows again, we're like, it's not too busy, and then kind of over the past few days, everything just kind of exploded.
Yeah, I think it was more the fact that D23 was coming, and we had so many quiet news weeks because everything was building to this. And now, not only have we been and gone with D23, but San Diego's this weekend. And although there won't be news, there's going to be all the merchandise news and all the other things. So we're in that middle ground.
There's merchandise news coming, don't worry.
Yes, we've got another What of the Force rant coming this evening, as per usual. So, yeah, should be fun. But yeah, we're going to jump straight into it because we've got a long show tonight, which will be good. So first up, from D23 we'll go into first. The Last Jedi behind the scenes video was released. Yeah, my thoughts were as follows: open mouth, silence, and oh my god, because that trailer looks incredible. The behind the scenes trailers I always love looking at because I love to see the inner workings. I love to see how they've gone about creating something, especially with something like Star Wars, as how they've gone about creating these new practical effects. I mean, I don't know what the creature is, but this small kind of penguin-like creature is just the cutest thing ever, and I want a plush of it. And we have to also talk about some of the other features in there, including Rey with Jedi hood, and of course the ending with Carrie Fisher, which just, caused a little lump. What did you guys think of it?
Go, George, yeah.
Oh, you want me to go first? Well, I was in a very odd situation. So obviously everyone knows you can't watch D23 live. You have to kind of follow it through like official press that are there and stuff. I was getting these like minute by minute updates, and then it's like, oh, they're showing a behind the scenes clip. I was like, well, why aren't we seeing the behind the scenes clip? And then one of you guys sent it to me like within like 10 seconds of, I think I type it to you guys like, why haven't they showed us? And then it was out. And considering I was in a rush to go back to the Formula One track, it was incredible. I watched it and like bathed in its glory, and it is. I mean, yes, it would have been great to have got a trailer and plot and story, but it's Star Wars. Everything behind the scenes is as good or as interesting as actually what you see on the screen. And when you're getting them on set chatting, even seeing Luke with the sort of motion capture dots on his hand, it's all the stuff that you can see they're doing now, which is incredible. And it's seen at the. I loved everything about it. We don't need trailers of the plot to get you going for the film. They could release 4 behind-the-scenes videos rather than 1 plot trailer, and I'm still going to go to the cinema and watch it. And I think a lot of people still would too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I mean, I saw it, and it was one of those things that you just think, wow. And I mean, it's Tony Daniels coming on saying Episode 8. Wow, the first one didn't even have a number. It just kind of see that the expanse of how this is going. The actual behind the scenes, there's so much in there. You see Millennium Falcon, you see them putting BB-8 together, shooting in a lot of water. There seem to be quite a few sets on, a set on water. I was someone falling in there. I don't know quite who that was. Shots of Leia, the lightsaber. There's so much happening. Loads of shots of Skellig, which is something I'm sure we'll hear about later today. But it intrigues me way more than a standard trailer, would I think, because you only get snippets of what they've shot and not scenes from a trailer, not full scenes, nothing's prepared. There's no sort of real special effects, visual effects behind it. I find it a much more interesting watch than a full trailer. We're kind of running in the same pattern we did for The Force Awakens, where we did see a teaser trailer. We then saw behind the scenes trailer, and then we saw the full trailer after that. So who knows when that full trailer is going to drop. We're kind of running out of time. So it's got to be soon, I guess. Whether it'll happen just after Comic-Con, if there's something for it to drop it off. As I said, we're not getting anything from Comic-Con. So it'll be interesting to see when it does come out. Really looking forward to it. But the trailer itself, it just showed so much. And to say that Carrie finishing off saying it's about family. Yeah, like Phil says, it was sort of lump in the throat sort of stuff. Some of the stuff that's still going animatronic for everything. These creature effects, outstanding. I loved it. I absolutely loved
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things that you're talking about. There's no specific visual effects that have been put in, but the SFX, the practical effects that you see on just on camera, even these behind the scenes videos are incredible. I mean, yes, these behind the scenes videos are edited, of course, but they don't put ILM isn't working on these behind the scenes videos, but some of the stuff like from Crate, where you have that red dust that's blown everywhere, where you have, as I said, the underwater features, where you have the mocap stuff, and you see more of you see also more of Rose in this particular trailer as well. Kelly Marie Tran talking about not specifically her character, but just more of her involvement in it and about the film process itself. And you do get snippets from each of the characters. It's one of those things that I reckon we'll see more of on the Blu-ray eventually when it comes later next year. And it's one of those things that the behind the scenes trailers I like. I don't say I like them more than the theatrical trailers, because the theatrical trailers always have got, you know, all the vis effects, they've got full on sound effects, everything else. However, just the way that Lucasfilm are going about doing these behind the scenes videos. I mean, the one we got from the sizzle reel we saw a year ago at Star Wars Celebration for Rogue One was incredible. I mean, the room just exploded when that happened. And yes, we had the exclusive trailer, which was never released, still to this day has not been released for Rogue One. But behind the scenes videos always give you snippets of something you're yet to see, but also stuff that you wouldn't usually see. Like, for example, in that you've got the turret that actually you've got the full-on motion with the guns moving, the mechanisms moving. You've got even got Benicio del Toro's character in this as well, something we've only seen one picture of previously. And that, for me, was fascinating to see they actually released some video of him. Yes, okay, it wasn't much, but it was good to actually see his character. And yes, the droids, the animatronics, the creature effects. You know, you have to give massive shout-outs to the grip department, the camera department, the sound department, the vis effects, just everyone, all crew members who put a lot of time and effort into it. And it's good because it's good for in these behind the scenes videos. It's also good to give them the exposure, because people work long and hard on these films for us to enjoy. And you know, there are people out there who may hate them, who may hate The Force Awakens and films like that, but for us to, you know, watch it and enjoy it, these little videos are good to give the crew their just desserts and to give us these cool snippets, like the A-Wing as well, something that we haven't seen since what, Return of the Jedi, because there wasn't any A-Wings in Rogue One, so that's something cool to see. More T-70s, Poe's T-70, like a different angle from the first trailer we got. And so for me, Rey Jedi Hood, that was the coolest part.
The Rey Hood thing is, I would have wished they hadn't revealed that in a behind-the-scenes video. I mean, I'm not going to sit there moaning about behind-the-scenes video. It's amazing. The one thing I wish I could have seen, I understand why they don't, is at the minute I'm on a big Planet of the Apes hype, as a lot of people are right now. And I would have loved to have seen one shot of him wearing... Because the only official shot we've ever seen of Andy Serkis in these films is that original... We've cast Andy Serkis and that classic image of him sitting on the chair in the mocap room. I'd have just loved something of him in this, even just him putting the dots on his face or something. But it was awesome just seeing everything. And the best thing about it's all the nutcases online putting together fan theories that Rey's fighting all of the Knights of Ren, Kylo Ren's fighting the Jedi. And they're like, well, no, it's called choreography and rehearsals.
Also, though, to be fair, stormtroopers with axes, hell yeah.
Oh, it's going to be insane.
It is going to be on another level. It's one of those things that at the moment we're ramping up also, and we'll talk about this more later, we're ramping up towards Battlefront 2. And it's one of those things that with these weapons, you can't help but wonder what things are going to be like and where they're pushing. Because they're pushing, I think with The Force Awakens, they started out with quite in a not so subtle but subtle way of a reboot in terms of the story, but even the characters acknowledged they'd done it before and things like that, so it's a soft reboot in a way. With this, I think we're going to see a film pushed a lot more and a lot further than The Force Awakens, because now they've established it and re-established the universe. I think we're going to see a lot more. But sorry, Dave, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, I think you're quite right. I think what we're seeing now, we're going to see a very different Star Wars film like this in there. I think everybody's even kind of building up in that this really say it's in the Star Wars universe, but it's its own thing, and we're going in a very different direction. Going to try and take a few left turns in this film to kind of keep people watching and entertained. And I, for one, the more I see it, the more I watch of it. I'm so excited for December to come round. I really can't wait. The release of it, to be honest, D23 overall was a bit disappointing in the reveals that we had. We didn't get a lot. The cast came out, then they showed this. But yeah, so I'm just really excited. I thought it was an excellent, well put together piece, and it kind of gave you no story, but let you see snippets into probably when you see the film, like, oh, that's from that and this. There's a guy falling down what looks like a shaft of detonators at some point. It might not be that, but it looks like he's falling into a lot of mines that are going to go off.
A thermal detonator.
Yeah, so I'm just really excited. This has got me buzzed quite heavily for this film. I was already there, don't get me wrong. They've got a ticket sold here, probably about 6 or 7, but this really ramped it up for me. I was really, really happy to see it.
Yeah, I am very... It's the little things like you're seeing things that's like, okay, these are going to be in the film. Doesn't matter if it's 1 second or 1 minute, but just seeing it, like the previs, all of it, it was just awesome. And it does its job, but it makes you more excited for the film. And I cannot wait for that.
Indeed. But then, of course, after that, we did get also another new thing is the fact they released the Last Jedi character posters. I love them all, though I do wish we would see a bit more, because these posters are beautiful. You've got John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher all got one. I can't think of anything else. I think it's just the 4 of them, isn't it?
No, there's 6 altogether. There is an Adam Driver.
Yep.
And
they've done also. So what they were doing a clever strategy of each person on social media would unveil their poster at a certain amount of time. Because I think Boyega, obviously, it was John Boyega was the first one, and I think he did fit in. And then Daisy Ridley did hers on Facebook, Oscar Isaac Instagram. I think Ryan Johnson, obviously because Adam Driver hates the universe and social media. Ryan Johnson unveiled his, and I think Carrie was unveiled by either Billy Lord or Ryan Johnson. There's more, and then obviously Mark Hamill finished it with the Luke one, holding the lightsaber.
I love that. Him and Ray are holding the lightsaber in that picture, in their pictures.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Luke one's when you phone background. As you guys know, I love Luke. He's my favorite character of all time, and I saw that picture and just freaked and had to have it.
The one thing I kind of not really laughed at, but literally someone online, I think maybe did Pablo Hidalgo tweet this person as well. Luke and Ray. No, Ray is holding the lightsaber at a similar stance to Kylo Ren, and because Luke is facing the other way, there was plot theories that Ray's... I'm not joking. I've seen this.
She's turned.
Exactly. And I can't cope anymore with the nutcases. It's like, fair enough, but you kind of got to think
we will theorize, but we're not going to get that mental.
I mean, I would like to say that on behalf of us, I mean, we put these posts up on our Facebook page and they got liked and shared so much. So it's a massive thank you to everyone who came to our Facebook page and had looked at them, because it kind of blew up on us. It went crazy with people liking and commenting on them. So that's great that people are on there having a conversation about them, because they're beautiful pieces of artwork. I've seen someone online who'd actually put them in a frame. He'd got them obviously all printed out in a frame with a poster, and it looked fantastic. This cut-off head thing, I still find it a bit weird, but the actual red, the pull of the paint down, creating the rest of the costume, though, I absolutely adore. I think that's a fantastic piece.
I do wonder, and I do reckon that we're getting closer and closer to confirmation that this will be the first Star Wars film that the Cruel is in red.
No.
Boo! Phil, get off this podcast.
It's just... That's never, ever, ever going to happen. I mean, it's more so the fact that red would be hard to read off black as well. That it's never. They would know that they got enough of a big deal with no Cruel.
You never know.
No,
I've said it here first. You could see if I'm right. Then
if I'm right, I will.
It feels right. George and I will finish being on this podcast, and
it feels right. I'll give him my signed Boba Fett Black Series figure.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, that's not coming to you, Phil.
Hey, the thing, it probably won't be, but just in case I'm right, we have the video evidence right here.
That's why I'm not betting my signed poster.
I've just got this. I don't think there's any way they'd ever change the crawl font, the color of that. I think George is right. In one case, a field of black stars with red writing up going up is going to be really tough to read. as
Especially for
well,
kids.
just as a point. But I think it's no, I think it'll be very much yellow text. It'll be a continuation of that.
Well, the actual Star Wars logo at the top of that could be red. But either way, we will see. We will see. But this does bring us neatly onto our next point, which Ryan Johnson says the word decimated is in the crawl. Now, this could be taken in many different facets and many different ways. I personally think it's to do with the New Republic and their fleet, and to do with, because the First Order are coming back. It's more the Republic, the New Republic, and the Resistance, which has been left reeling from that initial attack from Starkiller Base. Now, of course, Starkiller Base has been also destroyed, and they could be using the word decimated for that. So there are different ways to look at it. My personal feeling is they would be talking about the Resistance and the Republic, and this film could be more of a rise of the First Order, and almost a reverse of what we saw in the original trilogy, which I think would be a cool way to look at things. But of course, again, that's me speculating. There's a lot of theories between now and December. 5 months left until release, and I cannot wait. Guys, what do you think that word could mean?
Yeah, I mean, the decimated for me, I think it's very much pointing that it could be. I mean, decimated is literally the Republic got blown up. That was the central point of the Republic. All the big centers there. They said in a lot of the cutscenes, the woman who's at the front, when it blew up, she had a bigger part with Leia in the film.
Yeah, Corsella. She's in the Star Wars Bloodline book. That's a very, very good book. I highly recommend it. But yeah, she has a big role in that book. And when you then watch that deleted scene back and you know who the character is, it does actually add a bit of extra impact, because you're going to have all these senators from there, because they moved the Republic. Sorry, excuse me. Republic space from Chandrila, where Mon Mothma was based.
I have some breaking news.
Okay.
Breaking news!
Oh, of course, it's Wednesday at God 8 o'clock.
Kylo Ren's ship has been unveiled,
yep.
And it is called the TIE Silencer.
Ooh, TIE Silencer.
Nice.
That name.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
There's official words, descriptions, meters. It features laser cannons, missile launchers. I am just copying a Star Wars show. That's it. That's the breaking news. But we caught it in the minute of it going up.
That's our usual, though. It's Wednesday. It's gone 8 o'clock. We've started. Star Wars Show does their bit of news. We nick it. We're the first to report it. It's exactly how this works. So the TIE Silencer, though, we've seen it in model form, and I assume they've got a actual either concept.
And we've got a Lego form later to speak about it too.
Yes,
yeah,
we've seen that. I assume they've got either a concept art or they've got a picture of the ship itself. I'll have to look into that in a bit. As well, George will look at it.
Yeah, they've got a 360-degree video of them going around the ship.
Nice. I will check that out, because as I said, now I know that it's called. I know it'll be coming for X-Wing. Can't wait for that. Oh, that makes me very excited. So yes, breaking news. It's called the TIE Silencer. But Dave, you giving us your thoughts on decimated and what it could mean in the crawl?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, I think you're very much on the right lines that it could be across both. It could fall on both sides, but because it says Starkiller Base got destroyed as well. So both sides have lost big areas of their troops there. I mean, how many troops would have been on Starkiller Base? I mean, surely the base didn't just cover one little bit of that planet. I'm guessing it was planet-wide. So when that thing went up, they're, again, decimated. So I don't know, George, which side you fall on.
When I first... Well, the actual article's jokes. I mean, I encourage people to go and look at the interview where he's like, someone asked him, what can he say about the crawl? And he's like, well, it's got a word in that's never been used. It's the word poop. And... obviously, he's all about the trolling these days, Ryan Johnson. I absolutely love him. And then he said, no, in all seriousness, he goes, one word I can say is in it is the word decimated. And when I heard that, I thought, well, Starkiller Base just got blown up at the end. But then you think, but then again, so did the Rebel. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's one word, and the fact we get a point on it's amazing, because this is Star Wars, the only franchise where you can actually have a conversation about a word.
About one word.
About one
word from 3 paragraphs. Yeah. I think it applies to both. Technically, the Luke's Academy have been decimated by Kylo Ren.
What's the Jedi Order?
Yeah, it's because I got the wrong words then. But it's intriguing, because I mean, this is stupid. As a kid, like, I love the Star Wars crawls. These films taught me words that I didn't know, and people may just didn't know. There'll be like a 4-year-old that's like, what's decimated mean? And then they'll realize from this film. So I knew at primary school, this is going way too far off topic, but I knew the word henceforth because of episode 3. And I used to use that in sentences. Yeah. And that was probably the most advanced thing anyone could do at the age of 9, is use the word henceforth as a connective.
Known as Darth Vader.
Precisely. So I'm just looking forward to reading a new Crawl, to be fair. Like, I just want more. I want the film now.
Episode 9, a new Crawl.
I can not be December already, because I just want to. I'm really excited to see the movie, and then I'm really excited for us to all be sitting bleary-eyed at 3 o'clock in the morning doing one of these.
Yep.
Trying to talk over our thoughts on it.
I will do exactly what I did last year, though, which is as soon as I got home from not last year, before, when I was watching episode 7. As soon as I got in, I actually Googled Kylo Ren, because I wanted to look up some of the fan theories to see what was right and what was wrong. As soon as I put that in, on Google, on their main page, they had a Twitter feed come up bit, and it was Kylo Ren kills Han Solo. And
that was jokes at midnight. Obviously, jokes. I haven't seen it.
Made them take it down, because it was like, well, it's been out for 3 hours now. I was like, yeah, 3 bloody hours.
What I did when I came home from Force Awakens, I went on Twitter, just hundreds of tweets at 3 a.m. like, Han Solo's dead, and I was there, savages. But then I was there like, you know what? I've already seen the film, so I couldn't care less. Because obviously we get it a day before America. But no, I'm excited for the new film, like episode 8. You know, I've had a friend of mine who's been spoiling kind of this for a lot of people, and obviously I saw it on day 1 on the first showing. As usual, nothing can get spoiled for me. And episode 8, I don't go around spoiling for other people, but I am not immune to the fact that we get this film a day early. I'm grateful for that. However, if we didn't get it a day early, I would not be on the. I power down internet
social media at all costs.
Well, yeah, it's exactly what I do now.
First day of reviews.
Game of Thrones is back. I make sure that I don't go and touch my phone until after, so that
exactly
it's spoiled for me.
With Star Wars, the second the reviews are out, you don't go on the internet, because then if the reviews are out, then the public opinion's out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can say for sure that right now we will be doing probably a spoiler-free and a spoiler review of The Last Jedi.
Oh, without doubt, there will be. There'll be. I think it's tough to come back. Well, you'll be really on such a high after seeing this movie to kind of come in and go, well, it was good. Yes. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But there's 5 months. We'll get there. We've got time to get ready for it.
Indeed. So now we must move on to the next part, because I realise we are already 25 minutes in and we're only on point 3. This is going to be a long one, as I said. So point 4, John Boyega teased a fight with Captain Phasma in The Last Jedi. That's kind of interesting. I mean, we've got a comic coming out in September, which is the first in the Road to the Last Jedi series. We had Journey to the Last Jedi, because we had Journey to the Force Awakens series of books and comics a couple of years ago, and now we've got Journey to episode 8 coming out in starting September. So the first comic is Captain Phasma. It'd be interesting to see how she gets out of the trash compactor, if she does indeed get put in one, and where this goes. So this is a kind of a feed on from that. I think John Boyega's characters as in Finn is very interesting to see where he will go in episode 8, where he finds himself, where he now lies. Of course, he's an ex First Order stormtrooper who has found himself deep in the middle of the Resistance and their fight and everything else. And he's spoken about this himself in interviews about how he's excited to see what his character does and what our reaction to that's going to be. And this fight could be very interesting to see if he's doing it as a full member of the Resistance, if he's doing this on his own. The fact that we know that he's not a back to tank, but in a healing tank. You see him get out of the tank. You know that he's going to be doing something in this film. So where it leads, where it goes, is going to be very cool. I mean, what do you think of it?
I think it's I think it's coming, because the way it's been, obviously the story was sold on him catching Phasma, saying he was in charge. So I think it's very much leading up to that. I think it's always going to be soon, but I think it's going to be a much more, that was very much played for comedic value. And I don't see this film having as many, I'm sure there'll be some humor in it, but I think this will not be a go for laughs segment when Phasma and Finn next meet. I think it's going to be very much a personal vendetta that one of her stormtroopers left to go off to the resistance. So yeah, I'm looking forward for them coming together and seeing what happens between them.
George?
Sorry, mind like delaying me by a couple of seconds off you guys. I'm intrigued for this fight because obviously when they announced on the Battlefront DLC that we're going to get Finn and Captain Phasma, like okay, so if they're going to pair against each other, then they're probably going to have scenes between each other, and there's too much of a potential for them not to have a fight. I'm very intrigued to see how they fight, given that is basically starting off the film. You know, she's starting in the bin, he's starting in a hospital bed. It's going to be like who can get their pride back first, and I kind of want to see what they're going to do with it. I mean, in the panel, obviously, we don't have footage and stuff how they announced this stuff, but John Boyega, like that will be a fun fight. It'll be a fun scene. I can imagine there being not comedy, but this will be Finn at his most serious points, and I'm intrigued.
And then I think what we've got next coming, I think, is probably one of the first things we got revealed at D23 was that beautiful reveal of, well, what we knew at that point is Star Wars Land, and that model that they dropped that curtain on. And I mean, what were your first thoughts, guys? I mean, it's quite blown away.
I sent the video as soon as I saw it for Galaxy's Edge. I mean, that's the thing. They got the reveal of the name for the Star Wars Land. It's called Galaxy's Edge, and the model they revealed is incredible. It's so detailed. I mean, naturally, being Lucasfilm, they've probably got their props department to work on it, but the scale of it is huge. I mean, it's a very big model, and there's a lot of detail put into just the model. We've seen some footage of them constructing it and working on it. It's going to be massive. The fact that they're looking at having droids roaming around all the place. I'm sure George knows something about this. He can't tell us. But to have the characters, to have the universe, to have everything massive, it left me just stunned. I genuinely cannot wait for this to come around. I want to go. I want to be there on opening day. It just looks incredible.
It looks stunning, and I will be there. I will be there. Everyone will be there. There's no escaping that. But there was something about it where I'm not saying just not, but I was kind of hoping for like well-known sort of stuff. I get the whole point. It's a new planet and stuff like that, and that is great. Don't get me wrong, but I would have loved for them to have, like when you go to theme parks, they split up in corners and maybe rides a certain area of the stuff. I thought if they do they're building life-size ads, right? So I thought there might be some cool Hoth type thing or some Endor-y thing, but I get what they're doing, and I will be there. It looks amazing, but there's just that slight part of me that's a bit disappointed, and also I would much rather it be called Star Wars Land than Galaxy's Edge. It sounds like some kind of...
No, I think it's called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, but that just sounds like a children's show or like a chocolate bit. Imagine like a little kid, Dad, I want to go to Galaxy's. Like, what the? Whereas you say, Dad, I want to go to Star Wars Land. Yeah.
Language.
I think everyone will still call it Star Wars Land. I think that'll be very much its moniker. I want to go to Star Wars Land. It'll have an official name, Galaxy's Edge, but I doubt people will use it very much in conversation talking about it. I think you're right. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It sounds like a game, like a mobile game, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But I mean, I know what you mean by seeing that, like it being a Hoth part, and a Tatooine part, and an Endor part, and Jakku part. And I think it is, but I mean, that model that they revealed, and hopefully, I think what we might find is this place will show up in a film at some point. I think we will definitely get to have so much detail plotted out. I can't see us not going there at some point, even if it's just they'll tie it in. And there might be a roller coaster in there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, it looks stunning. The hotel that they have attached to it.
As long as they have a cantina and I can get myself some blue milk, I'll be fine.
It just looks amazing. I mean, the hotel that they have attached in this, where they're saying that it's going to be open, it's going to be all Star Wars themed in the hotel. And then you've got literally staff in costume as well. It's going to be incredible, and I can't wait till the three of us are there.
We will do some sort of live show from there. Yeah, I can say that. We will have to do something.
I cannot wait. Now I can kind of hit the point. What just really disappointed me was they made out there was going to be big announcements, and I know we basically have pretty much finished. Like the only other bit is Mark Hamill's been in Disney Legend, which is great, very, very, very well. But as a whole,
Carrie Fisher
was land. Oh, sorry, it's because my internet's cutting out.
It's all right, yeah. We also had Carrie Fisher being inducted as a Disney Legend as well, and Mark Hamill accepting the award on her behalf. And again, lump in the throat moment for that, but it was good to see her being honoured as well as him. But yes, continue, George.
Yeah, sorry if this is going to delay. I don't know why my internet's been on this, but I was looking forward to D23. I mean, if you go back to the Star Wars Celebration, technically it was day 4. The Sunday was, in all honesty, abysmal, and I should be using other words than abysmal to describe that 4th day. To have the whole world watching a live stream, for Warwick Davis to say, thank you, goodbye, and we'll see you in 2 years, somewhere. And, you heard boos on that stream, and we reported that, and I was disgusted. I mean, obviously they didn't camp overnight for it, but then, okay, for the big one, they make the point of we're not doing anything at Comic-Con because every 3, and they go, okay, D23, they're going to raise the roof. They took everything down. They spoke about 1 film. The live-action remakes went through 3 or 4 films. What does Star Wars do? Yes, the behind-the-scenes video is amazing. The posters, they weren't there in person. They were unveiled on Twitter hours after. And if I was in that room, I was like, hold on, I've come all this way to watch a behind-the-scenes video. And there was nothing. And there's no word on the Han Solo film, which they needed to address. There's no word on the next Star Wars spin-off film, which is due out in 2020. There's not even a word on the location of Star Wars Celebration 2019. They didn't even give you a bloody release date for Star Wars Land. We've just got 2019 still. They know where they're going to build it for. They know what they're doing with the Han Solo film, but they absolutely screwed over everyone. Even if I'm piped up, then I am piped up, because when did the next Star something? We actually don't know, because there's no formal date other than the words 2019. There's no more Disney events. There's no more Comic Cons they're going to go to. They're out of the dark, and I don't know. I was happy. I was happy they didn't stream it live. But the fact that I came out of D23 more excited for a Dumbo film than I was a future Star Wars film is absolutely heartbreaking. It
is crazy that the event that it is, which is, like you say, this Disney's big event to show off what they've got coming. I know when they showed Mary Poppins, they had a musical number come out, and they had something like the Nutcracker was there, and they had a dance that shows for that. It just seems that there was I agree, it was a missed opportunity for me to get as much information out there into the public as possible. And certainly I thought they would have something. I know they're in heavy shooting and probably shooting way more than they had to before for Han Solo, but a video would have been too hard to get a hold of. Something from Ron Howard just on the screen saying, hi, we're doing this, we can't be there, sorry, blah, 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 blah. Missed opportunity is the word I'm going to use for it. That's exactly what it was. There was so much more that could have been given to us. But yeah, we're left a bit in the dark, like George just said. I would have liked to have seen more. I mean, again, it was fine. I mean, I sat on Twitter just refreshing my screen for a couple of hours, really just trying to find that, and to get to the end of it and go, oh, now Marvel. Right, okay then. So yeah, a bit disappointing and all, but we move on. I mean, on the upside, we've got stuff to look forward to. We know we've got Star Wars coming. The best thing about the Han Solo movie is we're getting more from Ron Howard, which is good. He's showing us more than we've seen, and quite a few directors show us of what they're shooting, which I think we'll go on to. Are we all finished for Phil, your thoughts on D23 as a whole? Or?
I mean, yeah, I mean, apologies there if George's internet keeps cutting out. I mean, if you're having technical errors, we do apologize. Yeah, and I mean, I agree with both of you. I think it was a missed opportunity. I think that they should have and could have addressed Han Solo, have a video from Ron Howard, or have Kathleen Kennedy just have a little bit more explanation. I mean, even if they don't reveal the whole truth, just a short explanation of, we screwed up, we didn't want to screw it up for you, hence why we're redoing it. It's just something to kind of tie everything together. And yes, an official release date for Star Wars Land, official release date for the next, official title for the next spin-off film, and maybe a title for, that's what the next spin-off film is going to be, a title for the Han Solo film would have been good. They missed a few things, and it does make me wonder what we're going to get later in the year. Maybe there'll be a surprise drop at SDCC. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but you don't know with Disney. But I do think they left a lot on the table that a lot of fans want to see, all of us included. But yes, so that is our thoughts on G3, and now on to the rest of the news. Ron Howard, first up, we're talking about him. He's sharing a lot of new images. The first one we saw was the Chewbacca and other Wookiee picture. Now, that was something that was very, very interesting. We know of his son, as in Chewbacca's son. If you've read Life Debt, it's in one of the little interludes in that book. So we know that's canonical. We know that happened. So could this be something to do with the Life Debt itself? Could we see Han rescuing Chewie? Could we actually finally see that particular storyline?
That what we find is the Star Wars Holiday Special is actually in the middle of this show, and what we're going to see is going to cut out of the film Star Wars Holiday Special shows.
Oh,
Debt, and then we come back, and there'll be a great interlude in the film. I think it's good that we. I mean, yeah, 2 Wookiees. It's got to be, and it was a closeness of those Wookiees. So I'm guessing we are going to see Chewbacca's family, whether that is just a wife or it is a partner or who knows, or I say a child, I don't know, but I just like Ron Howard is actually showing us some things today. I mean, just before we came on, he tweeted a few things of Donald Glover as Lando inside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and also with them behind a massive screen, which they were doing the hyperdrive sequence on live for the actors, which I would never in 1,000 years thought that was something they didn't do in CG, in post, afterwards for people to see. But no, there it was. They shoot on a massive screen, so the actors are in it, which I thought was incredible. I don't know what you guys thought of that.
Yeah, and it's something they started doing more on Rogue One than they did on The Force Awakens, as they're working on technologies all the time. But luckily, instead of what they used to do, well, Lucas used to do, instead of focusing more on the visual effects, they're focusing on more way camera. Thank God. This isn't episode 2. This is episode 8, and luckily they are doing that. Episode and beyond, sorry, with the Han Solo film, and the fact that they are doing it in camera, it helps the realism, it helps the suspension of disbelief, and it is a really cool photo. He also released pictures of a certain smooth smuggler's wardrobe as well, and I am so excited to see Donald Glover's portrayal of Lando. I think I'm actually more excited to see his portrayal of Lando than I am of Aaron Reich's portrayal of Han Solo. I think maybe that's me just being weird, I guess, but I think I'm more excited to see more of Lando's involvement than I have Han Solo, because and my friend Matt brought up this as a great point of view. You don't, with Han Solo, you've already had his kind of origin story with his introduction in episode 4, so you know a lot about him, but there isn't so much on Lando. There's just a passing mention of the Falcon being his ship, and you got a lot of nerve showing up here after what you pulled. Maybe we'll see what he pulled. I look forward to seeing a lot more of the Lando side of things than I do of the Han side of things, I think.
George, your thoughts on what you're sharing?
Lando is I love Donald Glover, cinema community, done a lot of good stuff, and he was the fans' choice. Every single person, when they said they're doing a Lando, Donald Glover needs this, and they did get him, to be fair. And like him, because he's Simba in The Lion King now. He was in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's doing an animated film for them, and now he's in Star Wars. And from what I've heard, he's been one of the standouts. Obviously, I was the pitch at meeting up with Billy D. Williams together, and he seems like someone that's probably took this role on, and he's going to go for it. And when he goes stuff, he does well. All he goes to look is even his music career as well as his acting career, and because he isn't a lead character. He's an important character, but he is a minor sort of supporting. He's a major supporting role or a minor lead role, whatever you want to say of one of them situations, which is nice. Whereas you got Han Solo, who's a lead, and he'll always be a lead. And there's so much expectation on the character of Han Solo that Lando can quietly in the background steal the show, which I think is exactly what he's going to do.
I think you've absolutely spot on, George. I think he's got the credibility that he will yeah, I think he can be the standout character in this. Obviously, there are other characters that we're getting, which we'll get new characters. I think Woody Harrelson will also be someone who will take up the screen and eat into his role. I think that'll be amazing. So it'll be good to see that we get with everybody. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Donald Glover as Lando. I just love that we're getting all these little behind-the-scenes snippets that we weren't really getting before. We got the big shot in the Falcon of everybody all being happy and playing along and happy families. But now we're actually getting to see some actual footage from behind the scenes, which I think is excellent.
Indeed, I can't wait to see this. Next up on our piece of news is a good piece of news. It's a bad piece of news, but it's a good piece of news. So the guy's got his just desserts. Carl Cunningham has pled guilty to stealing from Rancho Obi-Wan. An American court case for stealing over 100 grand's worth of merchandise and figures, including the rare prototype Boba Fett and things, and he's been given a 4-year sentence, which personally I don't think is harsh enough, but there you go.
George, your thoughts?
Justice has been served. I won't lie. I thought he would get less than 4 years. You'd think a judge would laugh because he's stolen some toys. But I'm happy. No, in that way that people would look down and think, oh, he stole Star Wars stuff, and it's over 100 grand's worth of stuff he stole. And if that was printed money, then he'd be away for a lot more than 4 years. So I'm happy he's ended up in prison. That it's not some nonsense like he will be out in 2 months. I think give him 4 years, and he will never be allowed near a Star Wars item again. I'm just happy that they followed through with it and he's gone.
It's a bizarre case that you'd, one, steal from your friend, two, that you would take that much stuff, and not just like bits and pieces like you get like, oh, this is a nice can of this, or this is something people would notice. You take a $17,000 Boba Fett and think that eventually someone's not going to pick up on that. You take massive Lego sets. And you're right, some people will look at this story and go, you're right, you stole some toys from somebody who already owned them. Is that something that need to go to court? Yes, absolutely it is. These things are worth, as I say, 100 grand worth of stuff. And like George says, someone came and took 100 grand from somebody else, they would have got far longer than they did from 4 years. I think it's quite a low sentence. The fact he'll be out looking at Star Wars toys, Smith's Toy Superstore, watch out. He will be out in 2 years, have a look around, see what you get. I just think I'm glad he got punished. I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad the community obviously got his name out there well before anything was really reported. And I just think, yeah, I'm glad. I'm hoping that most of the stuff has been recovered. I think a lot of it has. I hope he's not sat in his 100 grand still when he gets out of prison. I hope that's all been removed as well, but I don't know how that works.
That would be returned to Rancho Obi-Wan, I think, or they would do something along those lines. Because when they sentence you, you can lose your assets and things, but that's for the legal system to decide. Who's getting punished? That's the good thing. Next is another cool little snippet. We've been watching The Forces of Destiny. I haven't finished watching them myself, but I'm enjoying watching those, especially the Ahsoka ones. But they're getting a UK TV release starting on Monday on Disney Channel at 5 p.m. and they're showing each day until Thursday. It's just a little tidbit for those of you who have the Disney Channel who can watch it. If not, they are on their official YouTube channel, but it's just nice to see them TV release. And the next and last bit for the news section is that Star Wars Rebels has been nominated for an outstanding children's program at the Emmys, and the Star Wars show nominated for an outstanding short-form variety series. I think it's well overdue for both, to be honest. I think that although we are the superior Star Wars show, they do put a lot of hard work and effort into their production, and Star Wars Rebels is a show that, although yes, it is a kids show because it's a kids film, at the end of the day, it's a TV show that we all love, apart from certain AP5 droids that we despise. It's a great show, and it's well deserved, these nominations, and I hope they win.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars show is. I mean, we're stealing its news every week. It was a clever thing for them to do. I mean, it's just literally reporting the news. You get the scoops, not other people. You clarify things, not other people. It's common sense, especially in the meaning of Star Wars being everywhere now. Perfect way to do business. And the Rebel stuff is great. It's getting strength. I love the fact it's Darkest Season got nominated. I mean, the Emmys, they're not to be looked down on. These are like, the Oscars of TV. And if Rebels' is penultimate season is going to get nominated, then I'm really got good hopes for the fourth one. Although, the fact it's nominated for Outstanding Children's Program and 90% of its audience are probably adults, says everything you need to know.
It's yeah, you're right. really proud of the fact that the Rebels is nominated for an Emmy. To say it's a big award, that really is something to grasp. I really hope they take that. I'd really love to see the Star Wars show get one. I think that the work that they put in, like Phil says, but they are great. I love the Star Wars show. Andy Gutierrez for life. But I just think it's a great show. It's well put together. It's just this minimal little show that runs for 9 minutes, but I tune in every week when we're not doing this. We'll watch it when we're finished. But I just think it's so well put together. We get this little bit of Star Wars news that's there for us to get all the information on these coming films. Get some really great interviews out of it that they normally post a longer interview on StarWars.com after the show's been on, if they've got someone on in particular who wants to talk at length, they've had Filoni on, things like that. So yeah, well done to both. It's great news to hear that.
Agreed. I do have one final point, though, actually, thinking about the Star Wars show. They usually do little snippets, little breaking news announcements. And something that reminded me of the schedule of trailers and things we had released over the past couple of years is we had the second trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens. I think maybe the second trailer, the final trailer. No, sorry, the final trailer was released on a Monday Night Football game. I think it's between the Eagles and the Giants, if I remember correctly, but that's me being pernickety there. But they released it on a
halftime
there.
Yeah. I remember my alarm going off at 3 a.m. I was like, why on earth is my alarm set for 3 a.m. on a technically a Tuesday morning over here?
Yeah.
And then I went on Twitter and realized why I'd missed it by 5 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something similar. Rogue One, didn't that final trailer kind of
that
came out during Electric Uni? I remember that was a good time.
Yeah, that again was released during something, and
that was Good Morning America.
That was GMA, yeah. Although to be fair, they did that terrible. Here's our latest Ome's Force for Change announcement, which we all watched Good Morning America for. Why did we watch this? But yeah, so
they'll tie us anywhere they can. It's
yeah. But we might get a release probably September. We're looking at September, October, Monday Night Football game, maybe during a football game because it's very high ratings. For another release of a future trailer. But anyway, yes, that's the end of that news. Of the full news section. That's taken 50 minutes of our time. I told you it was going to be a long one. But yes, so there's no Star Wars news this week, sadly. Although my latest comic build was about thanks to loads of Star Wars comics. Thank you. But yes, so we've got the Lego sets that have been released from The Last Jedi. I mean, I'm going to let you talk about this one, Dave and George, because although I love the Star Wars Lego, I don't have enough room to display it. I don't have enough room to buy it, really, which it does suck. But at the same time, I am a fan of them. But because you guys will be more the ones primarily buying them, I will let you two talk about them.
Dave, I'll let you go first because I need to load up all the images onto my computer. And you were the one that told me about the leak. You got the leak.
Well, yeah, I was online, and some websites had actually posted the images up. They have a little copyright notice. If you zoom in, there's a little copyright notice on them all. And I think it was Rebel Scum I was on, and they've gone now. They were taken down from there. They were asked to be removed by Lego. But yes, these images leaked online. With the actual figures built and the box art for a number of the line that's coming up for Force Fridays releases. So the moment they were on another website, I fired them onto our Facebook page and got them out there. And people, again, went crazy to see these things. Got a lot of likes and a lot of shares, which is great. Thank you very much for doing that. If you're doing that, I got no legal notice from Lego to take them down, so they're still there if you want to see them. But yeah, I mean, we've got some really great things coming. I'm just saying, if you're watching me, I'm looking at the side, but I'm the only one you've got visuals, so it's a beautiful face, I know. So I'll go through what we got. There was, sorry, I'm going to hold my phone up.
I've got it all up now as well.
First Order Heavy Scout Walker, which I don't like the look of at all. I don't understand quite what it does.
Looks like a turret.
It's an AT-AT with two broken front legs.
I wouldn't even say that. It looks like an amputated AT-AT.
It does. It, but I don't know if the Lego figure's not quite. I don't quite right, or the way it's set. Don't like that set. Next, we got a Resistance. I'm going to zoom in here. Resistance transport pod, which, to be honest, could be any Lego spaceship.
What I will say, it comes with minifigures of Finn and Rose. I think everything's important to the. Well, Rogue One didn't prove that Lego minifigures are important to the sets. They do, but they don't. What they try and do now, because they know that minifigures is the end goal, everyone wants to buy minifigures, they now spread out the minifigures across the Legos. So you can only get all of the Legos if you buy. You can only get the minifigures if you buy all the sets. So Rogue One, to assemble the Rogue One team, you had to buy the U-Wing, the ATST, the
Here we go. I'm sorry.
the assault tank.
Just interrupt you here. We've got the full name now. It's the Sinar Jaemus TIE VN, which is the Space Superiority Fighter, or as they're going to call it fully, the TIE Silencer. Sorry, I was just trying to find technical specifications whilst you guys were talking about that, because I know one of the leak sets is the TIE Silencer indeed. But yes, it's the Sinar Jaemus TIE VN. Now, it used to be Sinar Systems, so of course they've upgraded that for now. And the Space Superiority Fighter, of course, it's just that's what they're just going to basically call the TIE Silencer. But yes, go on, continue.
I will say the TIE Silencer sounds a lot better than that long name. A bit like the Crankmobile.
The Crankmobile's amazing.
I love Crankmobile. It still makes me smile.
It's never not going to stick, is it? That's the main thing to deal with nowadays. So the first order transport, we've got Little Rose, BB-8, and Finn. Then we've got, I don't know what this is. This looks like an Ultimate Collector Series BB-8, but then
it's not listed as one. It's not listed as an Ultimate Collector.
So I don't know.
It's got a stand.
Yeah, it's got a stand. It's got a mini BB-8 minifigure. It's got a display. It looks like it's probably going to be a couple of. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a ball. It probably just starts off as a square that gets bigger, bigger, and then they have to make it smaller, smaller. I don't know if I'd buy that. Like, the thing is, I need to be careful because, as many people know that listen to this, I have a dangerous thing that's happened with the Pop Funkos, and my words were 2 weeks ago. By the time the next episode comes along, I will probably have about 10 more. Was it something like that?
I think it was 7 more. And George, how many have you actually got now?
I've now got 28 or 24.
I love that.
I tell him often he has a problem.
Fortunately, they didn't cost a single penny. It was a trade. And as Donald Trump would say, no, it wasn't the worst trade history in the history, whatever that dodgy quote is. It was a great trade deal, something that Disney would like to make business with. And let's be honest, that's going to keep growing by the time we get to the next one in 2 weeks' time.
The Trade Federation will accept your request.
Yes, I will, and alone at this rate too. Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter, that's the next Lego. It doesn't look as nice in Lego compared to real life. I mean, that might just be the images. Sometimes Lego images can look bad compared to normal ones, but that does come with a sweet Kylo Ren scarred minifigure, which is probably going to be one of the most viable Lego minifigures.
One set that I'm going to try and make room for. The one set I want to buy.
I know one of the 2 sets you're thinking of. The next set is.
And I love the fact it comes with a little black BB-8 model as well, like BB.
Yeah. Think of the merchandise this year, right? When we hit Force Fridays, I just know that Sphere are going to email me like, "Hey, do you remember buying BB-8? How about black BB-8?" That's Force Friday for you. Because last year, didn't they do updated BB-8 with weathering?
Weathering, and also it's the one that you have the Force,
the watch that no one bought to control it with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with this, then we get the First Order Transport, which we knew about because, not First Order Transport, sorry, the Republic Bomber, I think they're calling it.
Yeah.
That was leaked a couple of weeks ago. Then we've got the First Order Heavy Assault Walker, the new AT-AT. Comes with Lego minifigure Rey, which I have issues with, actually, but I think I know why. And then we eventually have the one that looks amazing, which is the First Order Star Destroyer. Although there's something not quite right about it, but I want that minifigure of Snoke. They're the main sets.
Snoke.
They're the main sets, but what I find, there's this horrible trend that Lego release their Lego minifigures, the Lego sets of characters, and I think they look terrible. When I was younger, they used to have Lego Technics for Star Wars characters, and they were incredible. I've still got I had all of them except the Droidicas, then they cancelled them for some reason after episode 2. And they've kind of rehashed it, but like a kid's version, which I really never liked.
I don't like any of them.
No. But we have our first look at the Elite Praetorian Guard, who was, again, leaked a couple of weeks ago as Snoke's guards. And they basically look like if you kind of took a samurai, dipped him in with an Imperial Royal Guard, and there you have your new Star Wars character. They look so samurai, it's cool, but they're disgusting Lego sets. There's one of Rey, which is absolutely terrifying. I see them. It's like they've tried to build them out of Lego, and then when they can put their faces on, it looks. Has anyone seen?
What I find is a good thing to do with them, if you get those sets at all, just take the heads off and put the heads. They fit over a regular Lego minifigure head, so you get these little deformed Lego figures with big heads, and they look really cool that way. The little bodies, big heads. That's a much better.
I don't know if you guys ever played GoldenEye on the N64, but when you had DK mode, Donkey Kong mode, and you had the massive heads, that's all I can think of with that.
These are scary, man. I
mean,
what you could do, you could take the heads off.
Was the Grievous one?
Yeah, because he's got a weird. I mean, Chewbacca looks like Davy Jones. He looks like he's got his tentacles ready to come out. But the problem with these is that if you take the heads off, you can just say you've remade the Star Wars posters, which is something I'm not going to buy any of them. But that's all the leaked Lego stuff. Whether Disney want to come sue us, I don't know.
That's fine. If Lego want to tell me to remove them, I will. But for right now, they're on our Facebook page if anyone does want to have a look at them. So please go and have a look, like and share.
It's worth looking. Some of them look amazing. However, I don't think I'll be buying any of these on Force Friday. One thing I will say, I wish we had. This will probably come in the wave 2 of the post-release Legos. I wanted one of not Skellig Michael, but I want one of Luke and Rey on the just somewhere in the grass on Skellig or something, because that would be a really cool set. But I guess we'll probably get them later on in the year.
Speaking of Rey and our next bit of news for Toy Shelf is the Black Series 6-inch Luke and Rey from that particular bit have been leaked. Expected a full announcement at Comic-Con. I will be getting that Luke because it looks amazing.
I think it looks awesome. One thing I don't like, one thing I do like, because I used to get Black Series. What really put me off them was the red background boxes. They look horrible. But they used to look amazing. The first, I guess you could say the first 2 eras. Era 3 is the red backgrounds. It makes the figures at the front look tackier because they stand out. The background stands out more. And for this, they're black backgrounds. That's the key thing for Rey and Luke. And I think they're a 2-pack. That's what everyone's saying. But I wonder if the black background means they're going to go back to that.
No, it's not a 2-pack. From the pictures, from what I've seen, they are singles. They might do a double pack that will be released after the film, where Luke may have his green lightsaber. I'm thinking because so far what we've seen is just Luke by himself. Rey is, of course, by herself with her blue lightsaber. Of course, for marketing terms, it's been called her lightsaber. Whatever you want to call it, it's the Skywalker family blade. Either way, though, from the pictures I've seen so far, they're just 2 single packs. And I reckon that we're going to get a full wave prior to Christmas, maybe just after the film. That depends. We'll see, of course, in the near future. But I reckon a twin pack will come after Christmas.
They'll do twin packs. They'll milk stuff. There'll be spoiler stuff they want to show. If Luke's going to lose another arm or his head, they'll do some figure. They'll do some merchandise. They want a Luke versus Snoke showdown. Wow, we've got ourselves a tongue twister when the time comes.
Luke versus Snoke showdown. There you go.
There we go.
Dude, that
would be a great Lego set.
When in my vlog from Star Wars Celebration a year ago, I was talking about the Mark Hamill panel. Try saying that when you're ridiculously tired first thing in the morning, going, "I'm up to the Mark Hamill panel now." And it's just yes, that's a tongue twist and a half. The Mark Hamill panel. Ugh.
I just think, the figures themselves. I'm quite heavily in the Black Series now, and I think that's something I'm going to try and get back. Black.
No,
back.
Dave.
Oh,
no,
there we go. Into that as well.
It's the vintage series because you're a 3.75-inch man. We all know this.
Yes, but I'm going to. These figures, I'm quite intrigued by. Obviously, it gives quite a bit of Rey's costume away. This grey that she has on now there. We're going to find out more about the Grey Jedi, and is that going to be something that ties in? I think they're good looking figures that do finally getting a look at Luke, which is great. He should have been a Black Series figure when he was out at the end of Force Awakens. That's when
they did a pop for him. Why did
they did a pop? Yeah, I've got that. I've got that as well. But I really wanted a Black Series figure, and now I'm going to get it. Some Black Series figures that I was hoping I might get that actually might be at my price range now. Yes, I'm really looking forward to those 2 figures. I'll be getting.
We're all mad about that.
Force Friday, when the time comes, I think people are going to be shocked at how not little I spend, but at the quantity of products that I come out with a lot. less than people think I will. I will say the main thing I'm going for right now is the Poe Dameron helmet. That's my goal. That's where the fighting is. The minute the doors open, I fly through, I get helmet. And then the rest happens. I don't know what's planned. You just know there's going to be something. Like, if I just want them to release like an Andy Serkis figure, but of him in motion capture in a suit, because the guy deserves it for everything he's done. But I'm excited for Force Friday. I mean, all this. There's no coincidence that all the toy stuff. I mean, I think Hasbro have their own panel at San Diego every year, so without doubt, there's going to be more announcements of probably more Black Series figures that will be on sale at Force Friday too.
Speaking of Black Series figures, we haven't got it on our news, but we are going to talk about it now. We mentioned 2 weeks ago that Kapow have put up on their website the Luke and the Thrawn from SDCC. Now, the Thrawn especially is something all three of us saw at Star Celebration. We went, yes, we want that when it comes out. However, in true Ones with the Force style, it wouldn't be complete, this show, and if I didn't have a little rant. The actual retail price has been released of $49.99. The price we are guessing it at is £89 sterling. What the hell? And we know it's going to sell out extremely quickly because the pre-orders are up now, and by the time any of us get to buying it, it'll probably be double that when it comes out on eBay. And it is ridiculous. It's been 90 quid for that figure. Yes, it's a stunning figure, but the figure we got last year at Star Wars Celebration being the Kylo Ren with his unmasked face, with the stand, with the melted Vader helmet, with all of that, that was what, £33?
So some of it was 65 a day after Celebration. However,
retail price. And then
Ben Kenobi was retailed at £45 as well. That works out equal to the $50 because obviously in America they're taxed after.
Yeah.
And then to see he's £80 everywhere, not just he's £80. They're doing a Luke with the Land Speeder set, £120.
That's disgusting me even more because I want that set, and it's just that's far too much. I mean, I won't pay that.
No, I would. I mean, it's an odd one because they did the TIE Fighter and the TIE Pilot, and that was 180. So you never know the scale.
That's huge, though. That's the thing.
That's the thing. But the Land Speeder, you never know until you see it because it's probably going to have more detail than a TIE Fighter, to be fair. But my issue comes...
A regular version of it, though. That's the thing. You can buy a regular version of that. You can't buy a regular well, you might be able to buy a regular version of Thrawn, but not with all that cool stuff.
Yeah, and my issue is that not only have the UK been shunned on prices again, everything is on sale before San Diego Comic-Con. These are all San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and yes, I may profiteer as in I may be able to get some things that are available at Comic-Con by being at home, and that's common. But you never get that before a Comic-Con happens. You get that like a month after, or you get it 6 months after.
Never SDCC.
And the fact that all the Pop Funkos have been spread out across pre-order sites. I mean, there's only, I think, 4 for San Diego this year for Star Wars, but one's going to be on Amazon, one's going to be on Walmart, one's going to be at GameStop, and you're kind of there like, why on earth? There are going to be people that miss out at the event who are going to have people buying them at home in other countries there'll be people in America that live in San Diego, but they can't be asked to go to Comic-Con. And they're going to miss out on stuff. And this is the thing. If I was at Celebration last year and I missed out on Kylo Ren Black Series because he'd gone up for pre-order elsewhere, I would have been absolutely mental. And I'm assuming they're not dumb. They've probably got enough to cope with the weekend and leftovers and whatnot. But I think it's wrong that they put them on sale this early. We know that spares get sold. Look at Star Wars Celebration again this year. The Pop Funko leftovers all gone on sale in, well, they're not leftovers, they're new versions, but they've all gone on sale in June, July. That's 2-3 months after the event. Whereas going on sale before, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's unfair on the people attending.
Indeed, it's also another reason with ReedPop putting up all the Star Wars Celebration exclusive items that anyone who bought that nerd block got screwed. The only thing that was exclusive is the t-shirt and the lanyard. Anyone who bought that block got royally screwed, including myself.
I can buy the mug for $12.
Yeah, exactly. I will fully admit to that. I got properly screwed on that. I never
It's
should have
just-
bought the box. It was a cool box. I got a lot of cool stuff, but I never should have. Actually, you know what the funny thing is? I had a barbecue the other weekend, and I used the oven mitt purposefully. I sent a photo to these guys, going, "Finally, it is having a use. It's got a purpose."
That's just, yeah, I was good. I mean, I really want the Thrawn set. And to be totally honest, if it's still, I get paid next Tuesday. If it's still available, to be honest, I might still get it. But to be honest, I'll be buying it, and I'll be furious about buying it. I hate that it's priced up so much. It's again, I don't know why. I guess they've got to import all these things. They're getting them, and I don't know if that's the reason they're bumping the price up for us. But again, in the UK, we just simply take a bit of a hit on these things, and it annoyed me a lot when the news broke that it was out. It was like, yes, let's go get this, and then saw the price. Like, I can't justify spending £80 on a Black Series figure.
I can't. I'm with you now. I was buzzing for this figure, and I thought like Ben last year. Ben came with obviously the hologram of Leia, the stand, and actually had speakers. Well, not speakers, but
light and sound.
Audio. Yeah, light and sound, and that's more advanced than this Thrawn. And the way I say that's 80 quid, and not just to bring up Pop Funkers again, but that's 8 pops at retail price. That's 4 normal Black Series figures. That's probably 2 40th anniversary figures if you're looking at cheap eBay prices. It's half the price of Pilot Luke. It's the combination price of 2 Black Series. And no, sorry, you can probably buy Ben Kenobi, exclusive San Diego, Kylo Ren Celebration, and the Stormtrooper San Diego. You could probably pick up them for £100 for 3 of them.
Yeah.
Whereas you're paying £80 for Thrawn. I personally really want it, but I don't think I will.
Is we're getting Thrawn on his own today. As Robin has just reminded me in the comments again. Thank you.
He's definitely coming out by himself. Oh,
that's the thing.
A picture of him in the box. So yeah,
he'll be
him so we could get him at a normal price. It's just I really wanted some of those little things in there.
Well, that's my point, Dave. He'll come out at his usual £22.50, whatever the price is compared to where you shop, between £22 and £27. You're paying £10 per helmet and goblet and things for each individual extra. And yes, the packaging itself is opens up in a really cool manner. But I'm sorry, as a diehard collector, as someone who budgets carefully for what they do buy, and someone who is prone to, and we are all guilty of this, to spending irrationally and buying things. It's something that even I've turned around and gone, you know what, stuff it. I'm not going to have it. And we were all very excited for that particular figure. It's something that Thrawn was a character we all got enthralled with watching the last series of Star Wars Rebels. The book itself, we are still planning on doing our review on. It's something that's a character that we've all fallen in love with, but I will not be paying that price.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you're right. I think it's just, it's crazy. But you know what? I think we've ran about enough.
I mean, Dave, your helmet behind you costs less.
Yeah, well, to no point. If anyone's watching this now or later on YouTube, not the audio version, I have the Black Series Stormtrooper helmet. Now, when that came out, admittedly, that was £80 for that helmet. I got mine for £38, £39, and it's beautiful. It's a full-size Stormtrooper helmet. And I can't understand how a figure is being priced at that for us. And the worst thing is, it's not that price. That's not the retail price. That's what's annoying. It's but I think we've ran off. Let's move on. Let's
get some toy news that no one is it rude to say no one cares about these? Elite Series figures are still a thing. And people kind of buy them, but they are basically the other alternative to Black Series. That Disney, it's just not going to work.
It's like Disney trying to do a Hot Toys. Like, this is going to be our Hot Toys, but they're not. Really. That's nice. They're releasing these double packs with figures in there: Krennic and Jyn, Vader and Leia, which is in different outfit, and Rey and Ren, and Kylo Ren's unmasked. So you're getting sort of a new figure in with each pack. So the other one is already available. So in the double pack, you're only getting one new figure. But yeah, they're not something I'm into. If anyone else is into them, all fair play.
There is a following for them. There is, and
there's a following. Yeah, there's. I think there's some that are better as Elite Series than Black Series. Then most Black Series are better than Elite Series. But I think Disney are pulling strings of Hasbro that there are some figures they made Elite Series which they're holding back off making Black Series, i.e. General Grievous. God, what's wrong today?
General Gravy, yes. Yes, so that's that. I want to actually go to the next bit because it's for me. It's very exciting. The fact that Sideshow Collectibles have announced a life-size K2SO. There's no price yet. They're probably going to reveal it at Comic-Con properly, but that's gonna be hilariously priced. I mean, we were talking about it being like
it's gonna be something that is massive. I mean, this thing you're looking at what? How tall was K2SO? We're probably talking what, a good 7.5 foot,
something like
tall?
that.
I mean, there's no price, and I'm guessing there's a reason for that. That it's going to be more than most people's wages for a year.
It probably costs about 10 grand.
Yeah, this thing's going to be pricey. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably will look incredible, but yeah, it's going to be something I'd love to see, but never be able to afford.
I've seen a picture of it. What happened with San Diego is that press gets to go around early. Pictures literally came online about 10 minutes before I started this, and we went live and stuff. It looks gigantic. It looks amazing, and I genuinely think do people buy these? Like, I know it's a stupid question, but people they maybe get a couple. I mean, people have got the money, but
yeah, it's fans of more sense than money. Well, more money than sense.
It's
you're probably talking very well. I mean, well off fans.
Yeah, this is the thing. The mega collectors.
Your regular fan,
to be fair,
not at all.
If we won the lottery, one of any of us who won the lottery, the others would be given one of these. We guarantee it. We would buy 3.
I would
not.
I would buy a Thrawn.
You need to win the lottery just to buy the Thrawn. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
We talk about Pilot Luke, how we laughed when he was on sale at 100 quid on eBay. We said, in a couple of weeks he'll be back down to like 60, and now he's 160.
He is, yeah. He's just growing and growing. It's upsetting again to figure I'd love to own as well, but it's again I can't.
I'm not that fast only because the packaging is nice, but I don't really care too much about that. You can get the figure, the original figure, for 20-30 quid, and I'm just interested in the figure more than the packaging, I must admit. So for me, I'm okay. I'm okay without getting it. It's the only reason I'm disappointed with the Thrawn is I wanted all the cool extras.
Oh, hello.
Hello, I'm still here. I think.
Sorry, did we lose everybody? We're all back up. And I think our last, well, not our last thing, and Toy Shelf, one other thing is Hot Toys have announced a 6-scale Grand Moff Tarkin figure. This is, again, these things normally come out at Hot Toys. They're normally around about the £200-250 mark.
Well, they've also announced a 6-scale episode 6 Luke for Return of the Jedi, and that's for $230. So I think Tarkin's will be roughly around about.
Yeah, I think Tarkin, they basically said that he'll be officially revealed at Comic-Con, and then I guess pre-orders will come off there. But the episode 6 Luke looks stunning. It comes with an option. It comes with obviously him in his back kit, but it comes with the robe if you want to have him hooded as well, like that. So it's one of them that, I mean, Hot Toys is something. One day I will get one, but it's going to have to be something special because I know that I would only ever buy one of those, and maybe
this might be my one. I think this Tarkin is good. This might be my one Hot Toys purchase.
No, my one, as I said last week, was the Mythos Vader. That thing for me is just stunning. But yeah, that concludes our toy shelf. We're now on to games. So we're going to go through this. We're over time already. But yes, so the first bit of news we have for that is the Battlefront 2 story trailer has been released. I saw this and immediately sent it to the guys because my jaw hit the floor. The graphics look incredible, and the fact that they've got an advocate in Janina Gavankar to play the main character of Iden Versio, the fact that she is such an avid advocate for the in-game experience, and the fact that EA, strange for once, have actually taken notice of a fan base instead of screwing them over. And DICE have been working hard on it, and I cannot wait to play this game. I mean, George, you're the other gamer here with me in terms of someone who's been following these releases as closely as I have, and it does look incredible.
What I would love, I mean, this is just me for something else, but they revealed the other Inferno Squad members, and normally I wouldn't care. One of the guys in motion capture is called Paul Blackthorne, and when I used to watch Arrow and Flash then programs, he's one of the main characters. He's like Detective Lance. He's one of the best characters in it. He's one of the best actors in it. He's one of the nicest guys. He's a lot of charity work. He's an Arsenal fan. He's an absolutely amazing dude. And when I saw him tweet a picture of him mo-capping it, I was like, that's awesome. I want this even more now. Because I think the one that's playing Urso was in Arrow as well, so it's like a little team up with them too. But again, they don't need to show me anything. They don't need to sell it to me because I've already got it. The TV is in. The surround sound has been done and dusted. The new Blu-ray player is in for any 4K releases. One thing left before Battlefront 2 is just, and that will be here by the time it comes out. I will not leave my room. I've said many times, and I'll say it every time. I will have my Poe Dameron helmet on, flying around, losing my mind. It's going to consume my life, and you guys may not. No one may hear of me from the day Battlefront comes out until the day Last Jedi comes out.
Yeah, David, I would probably take
it. George live on Twitch at the same time.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. And then the final bit of news is we got the beta dates announced. It's being October 4th to 9th for pre-orders and 6th through 9th for normal. And they've confirmed a new mode called Starfighter Assault Battle. And there's playable on the beta along with Feed, which was at EA Play. I, again, can't wait to try that out. I mean, I do have my gaming laptop already sorted for Battlefront 1, but the updates to Battlefront 2 for sure.
I can't wait for the beta. October 4th is when I'll get it because I've got the pre-order down, and then October 6th is for normal people. But the fact there's new game modes called Starfighter Assault Battle, they've kind of said it's going to be not cross-era, but there's going to be new stuff. You can pilot iconic ships, blah blah blah. But then they said we're going to unveil this at Gamescom, which is in September. So I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait for the game. Just wait now.
I mean, I'll be getting it when it comes out. I mean, I'm not going to the pre-order or anything, but I can't wait to see what you guys think of when you get the beta version of the game and play along. So I'm really excited to get it. From the trailer, the first player mode looks incredible. I can't wait to sit down and actually be able to play through a story mode in this game with the graphics as good as they look. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it. It's just waiting for these things to drop now. It seems like what we're doing now is just waiting for it to kind of happen and fall into place. We've got Battlefront, we've got Jedi Last Jedi comes out, and then we have Han Solo being pushed back to Christmas. It hasn't yet, but I'm sure it will. But yeah, so it's all to come, and it's really exciting times.
A lot coming.
It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. It really is.
Indeed, it is. We did have a Cantina talk planned for this evening, but I think we're going to skip it just purely on time. And due to this,
you do want to, sorry, cutting you off, Phil, but I was just going to say we were going to have George talk about he went to Skellig. If anyone wants to see any of that, we're not going to go deal. We'll discuss it another time. But George went there. There's a video up on our Facebook page, on our YouTube. There's a link on there to our YouTube channel. At the moment, it can be watched on a desktop, but please go and have a look. The place looked amazing. George, do you want to talk about what we're running?
I can. Right. Quick.
Right.
So I turned 21 last night. And obviously, I've kind of hinted that I was at Formula 1 this weekend. The weekend before that, I went on a trek to Ireland. And okay, we live in England, it's not far compared to the rest of you. One aeroplane, two coaches, an hour 20-minute train, not train, sorry, taxi. And then the next day, a 1 hour boat to Skellig. And it was probably 3 hours. On the island itself, it was absolutely incredible. And it's something that I just can't comprehend. Sorry, I'm lagging. I can hear echo. It's really hard to talk. But literally, it was an insane experience of mine, and I would happily go again. It's hard to go there because you have to do the reservation months and months in advance now, and they go straight away. People are desperate to go. It's something where there's only so many people. You only get so many boats, but it's a choppy boat ride in. It can get risk of getting cancelled if the weather's not good on the day. Then straight away they are going to basically take away your right to not necessarily go, but if the weather's bad, you ain't going there. And there was a South African family on my boat. And they kind of said they came here last year and their trip on the day got cancelled, and they just went home. I mean, I think they said they were there for Star Wars Celebration, so they tied the two in together, but you can be left disappointed with the island itself. Words don't comprehend it. I'm not a nature freak, I'm not one of those. But the fact that this was easily the most awestruck thing I've ever done in terms of natural stuff. I don't know how on earth these mentalists managed to put in all these stairs. I mean, they reckon this place is like 10,000 years old, and it's not officially dated until 2000 BC. To then to prospect that it was there before then, people knew of it before then, is absolutely insane. And the weird thing is with the film, it was not a spoiler, is it? Obviously, a lot of the new films set there, and we had a tour guide who was maybe saying a couple of things she shouldn't have, confirming some rumors, and could have started some new rumors if the things were. But I'm not here to talk about that because I was too in awe of the island. When you watch the film, where Luke is standing is the very top of the island. Actually, it's like 4/5 the way up. The monastery little village is the actual top you can go to, and the Luke scene takes place after that. It's really odd, but I can't. It's not an easy walk. It was fine for me. It was tough. Like a lot of people, they say you got to take breaks. It's not a safe place. They said people have died here. People will die here again. We get a lot of injuries, so you need to basically, watch yourself when you're doing this, and then you kind of go. And the go is in, you go up the stairs once you get the health and safety warning. It was something which I really can't do it justice talking to it. I took my big camera and stuff, got some amazing pictures, and one of them, not arrogantly, looks like it's on like a Microsoft background. It's my background now, my desktop and stuff. I absolutely loved it, but I will say this, not in a nasty tone. Coming down was scarier than going up. It wasn't scary to me, but I saw a lot of tired people, a lot of people who shouldn't be walking any further up. They knew it themselves. It's not. They made the point, because it's in Star Wars, it doesn't mean you just go for the sake of it. You need to be able to handle the walk up. I'm not making digs at things, but there were some people who you took one glance and you thought, you shouldn't be here, my friend. As terrible as that sounds, just go. You got to try and go. But the issue, it all comes down to weather, because it's a classic, famous, old naturistic place. You can only visit between May and September. And my taxi driver even said to me, it's the weather's best here in April, and it's not even open then, which is what they don't like. I want to know how much Lucasfilm paid them to be able to film there in November last year, because that would have been coming from the government. They would have to get access to that from. But it was stunning itself, and I cannot wait to see episode 8, because episode 8 is good. There's so much more on the island that you don't see. I mean, even the behind the scenes video, they were showing some new bits. I mean, where Luke's sitting in the cave, there is a giant cave in there. You're not allowed in there, but obviously Star Wars was. So the experience itself was something that I can literally say that I went to Skellig Michael. Not everyone can say that, and it doesn't matter how much bigger this franchise gets. The same amount of people visit that island every day. The demand is just going to be higher. It will mean earlier bookings, but I could not recommend it any higher than the way I just did. Please check out the video. You will see. I showed it to my dad, and he's like, "Wait, there's no barriers." I was like, "Nope." And you take one little peek over, it's a sharp drop to your death. I loved it. I would go again, but would I take the risk of it potentially being cancelled? Because it's not cheap. Now, as a tourist attraction, it's not cheap. Where I stayed, everywhere is pictures of Mark Hamill. I'm not going to talk about some stuff. The staff were lovely. The manager was great. It was my birthday there, so we were chatting, had normal conversations. He said some things that obviously is great for their company to do the Star Wars film, which I'm not going to repeat on here just in case of safety remarks. But Mark Hamill, on the wrap up of episode 8, there was a party at the hotel I stayed at. And by hotel, it's more of like a guest house type thing. There is images of Mark Hamill wearing T-shirts from their merchandise, obviously to make more money off the merchandise, which was awesome. But I
wanted one of those shirts.
I couldn't recommend it more than enough.
Indeed. So yes, that is the this evening. I don't know if there's any final remarks, guys.
No, just from all of us, really a big thank you for everyone who's tuned in tonight. I've had a few people watching us live on YouTube, which is great. Thank you very much. All the likes that we're getting on our Facebook, please, if you get a chance, click subscribe on YouTube, like our Facebook channel if you'd like growing that as well, and on Facebook, and our Twitter page is there as well. So we just get involved, as we always say. We do like to hear from you and talk to you guys. So yeah, that's I think that's all wrapped up for this fortnight.
Yeah. Do we have an outro?
Want to close us out, Phil?
Yeah, we do. So just waiting for Dave, mute. There we go. Sorry, we have actually traced the echo callers. So when we do that, we've got a little private message between ourselves just to get that sorted. We do apologize to those of you who listen in or watch live. But anyway, yes, we've been ones of the Force, where the Force Good night.